Yeah, shout out to the dream lovers, the astral projection lovers, because we about to have some fun. I got some new stuff for y'all. So check this out, right? So first, in order to be brought up to speed for this video, you should watch the video Time Travel with the Nodes. Now, if you've already watched Time Travel with the Nodes, you already know about the projections that I had in there. We're going to be piggybacking off of the same energy of this woman that I've been dealing with in those projections in that dream, in that video. All right, so the saga continues, should we say, right? So, boom. I'm going to explain two astral projections back to back before I get into what they mean in the waking space. And I'm going to just tell you right now that it got something to do with astral cartography as well, based upon my deciphering of the projections. So, hold on, this might be too loud. I'm seeing red. All right, so I don't want my voice to be too loud. All right, so boom, right? The first astral projection I'm going to talk about is I'm dreaming, right? I'm having a dream, and we're like, okay, so it's like this. I'm in an apartment, but it's not my apartment. When I first had this dream, I thought it was my apartment. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't because of the color of the floors. But I realized my floors are like a lighter wood than the floors that were in this apartment. These floors were more polished as well. So this is like a dull wood. The other wood is more shiny, and it's like man, I don't even know the texture of what they call it, but it's not the same. Make a long story short, it just really wasn't my apartment, because later on I got to looking around the joint. I could definitely tell it wasn't my apartment, because this joint had stairs that came like winding down and shit like that. Like, so it definitely wasn't my apartment, but I just got that vibe when I first started dreaming. So I kind of like was able to see myself. I was decked out in like this. I kind of like got an outfit that's similar to it, but it's not the same, because I got like designs on the shirt that I got in my closet, but I had a similar collared shirt on, long sleeve joint with the vest to go over it. Boom, I got the khakis, I got the slacks on to go with it, the suit, all of it. I'm decked out, right? And I got a camera. I'm taking photographs of this woman, the same woman that's in the projection from Time Travel with the Nodes. So she decked out too. She got the gown on. It's like, you know, those scrunch dresses with the scrunch on the side. Like, she got one of those on. It's like glittered up and shit. And she's switching outfits and all that, but she was wearing a lot of shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? But this particular dress was like glittered up, got one side scrunched up, the other side got the gown material like dropping almost to the floor. You know what I mean? She got the pumps on, hair cut short and a bob light type joint. She's killing it. Strapless, tits up. It was crazy. So I'm taking photos, real professional type shit. Now, she had a white dress on in there as well. I remember that vividly as well. So boom, I'm looking now behind her. I got the studio lights in there and everything, but you know, it's inside of the apartment. So behind her is like a step. So, you know, like those what do they call those things? Carousels, I think. Them shits that be in the park or whatever. You know, put it this way, it got 3 steps like inside of the apartment. All right. So where she's actually taking the photos at, it's like 3 steps up from the floor, from the level that I'm on. So behind her, I could see out the window. Clearly, there's no curtains, and it's definitely my vibe, because I don't like curtains. You know what I mean? I got Sag in the 4th house here. So I don't necessarily like curtains. Maybe in some rooms, not in all, especially the ones that I spend a lot of time in the sun shines through. So that's kind of like the backdrop is like the skyline of New York City. I could tell, you know what I'm saying? And we up in the sky. So I'm like, okay, this shit is, you know what I'm saying, next level type shit or whatever. So I get to looking around, because before we even started taking the pictures, now mind you, before we even started taking the pictures, she started walking down the steps, and the steps come like down and around. So this apartment got 2 floors to it. In some sort of way, I wasn't able to see the whole left side of it in the upstairs, but I just was focused on her coming down the steps in the dress and shit. You know what I mean? She had a bag too. Don't y'all always have bags, ladies? But I'm serious, right? So she come down, we taking photos, this, that, and the third. The thoughts that were traveling in my mind was like, how did she get here? Does she live here? Do we live together? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, how do I get her home was what was on my mind. But I woke up. All right, so that's one astral projection. That's one dream. And this dream happened about, I got the date jotted down. I didn't look at it before I came. But I would say this was maybe a year ago, maybe even longer. Not too long ago, but maybe a year ago, maybe a little bit longer than a year. So I have another astral projection that was recently. It's important that I word this back to back. So this recent astral projection. Now, remind you, I told you about the ones that I had when she's, I'm driving a car, we in the mall with the fashion and all that. Please, if you getting caught up to speed, just watch Time Travel with Notes before you come to this video, before you come back here. So in this projection, now I wanted to believe, again, I wanted to believe that we was in my apartment. You know what I'm saying? But it's weird because we wasn't. I could tell we wasn't because of the beds. Like, there was twin beds. I got a queen. There was twin beds in this room. There was a dresser inside of this room. I don't rock dressers, you know what I'm saying? I don't have dressers. So it was just, those were the differences in the room. The beds were like lower to the floor. Well, my bed is kind of low to the floor, but not as low as these twin beds were. And they were like adjacent. They were like the same model bed. You know what I mean? So she come in the joint and she lay down. She come in the bedroom door. She lays down. So she's laying down or whatever, and a ways through it, she starts climbing under the bed, like she's going under the bed, and I'm like, yo, what you doing going under the bed? What the fuck is you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, just like that. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you doing? You know what I'm saying? I was kind of concerned, like, what the fuck is going on with you? So she was like, nah, I forgot what she was trying to say or trying to explain to me. I just didn't get it. I was like, yo, whatever it was, I just brushed it off. I was like, all right, it was kind of vague. I ain't going front. So I even said that in the recording, like, this shit was kind of vague. I don't know what she said, but she got back up off the floor, got back on the bed and shit. I'm sorry, but this shit was really that funny. So she get back on the bed, and I noticed that, I looked up and I noticed that there was a cobweb. There was two cobwebs. One was over her bed and the other one was not over me, but like in the distance a little bit off in the room. I'm like, oh shit. So now I see spiders in both of them too. I'm like, what the fuck? It look like Australia out this bitch, right? So I'm like, all right. So mind you, I just had an astral projection like 4 days before this dream of me and myself being encountered with a spider in a spider web. Now, spider webs in your dream means that you're in a hopeless situation, a situation that you feel like you can't turn around and it has you stuck. It feels like you can't avoid it, and it's even embarrassing to even discuss it because it's like you have no solution to this. It's like you're stuck in the same spot or stuck with the same situation, person, whatever it may be. And it's frustrating because it's embarrassing, because it's like one of those things that are out of your control. And I keep this in mind, it's very important. Now, an alternative to seeing cobwebs in your dream is that you have talents, skills, and abilities that you're ignoring and you're not being responsible with. So it's like you got gifts and you're not using them. So this is something to take heed to as well. Something that I definitely should take heed to, which I did. All right, so boom, just wanted to put that out there. You're like, this is some strange shit. Some of y'all be seeing some strange shit in your dreams. You don't be knowing. You be like, it's just a dream. The shit ain't real, and you just don't be knowing the interpretations of these things, right? So, all right, now, so I jump up. I'm trying to be the fucking knight in shining armor, I guess. I jump up. I'm like, I gotta get the spiders out of here. So I go to the dresser, and then this in my dream, I'm like, okay, this can't be my place now because I don't got no dressers. I go in the top drawer of the dresser. No, I'm lying. I go into the bottom drawer of the dresser. It's the sock drawer. And I'm about to grab a pair of socks. But I'm like, nah, because I'm looking at these webs and these shits is kind of fucking huge. They're not ordinary like corner joints. You know what I mean? So I'm like, nah, they ain't going to do it. So I'm looking around the room. I finally found a shirt. So I found a shirt. I swing it at the one that's over her bed first. Boom. Swung it. Broke the web down. You could see, like, it was so big that you could see the thickness of it pause, and it just hit the ground. Bang. I'm like, God damn, I didn't even see the spiders. I don't know where the spider went. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't concerned. I was just concerned about the webs for some reason. So then I hit the other web down. Boom. That was more near me. Now both of the webs are gone, right? So I lay back down, put the shirt back. I lay back down, and I'm like, I'm laying there, and she like, yo, Chauncey, the phone. All of a sudden the phone rang. She picks it up. She gives me the phone. Call me by my name. So I'm like, all right, grab the phone. She said, matter of fact, she said, Chauncey, the phone, it's the airport. So I'm like, what the fuck? Now, mind you, real quick, the airport in a dream means that you're about to set some shit off, like you're about to launch something new, and it's due to some like newfound information. It should be, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like you got to do something different in order to get what it is that you didn't have before. You know what I mean? The alternative to that is being naive and jumping the gun and jumping into some shit that you don't have enough knowledge about or that you're not qualified to do. So both of these definitions are important or relevant for what I got going on, because should I add astrocartography now? No, I'm gonna wait till I get into this state. So before I wake up out of this dream, I'm still dreaming, right? So she gives me the phone, I grab the phone, and I'm like, hello, who is it? Now, instead of the person that I'm supposed to be talking to, for whatever reason, I knew it wasn't the person that I was supposed to be talking to. She ain't say who was on the phone, but she just said the airport, but it wasn't the person that I was supposed to be talking to. It was like an intermediary or some type of, I don't know, message at a switchboard or some shit like that, and they was just like having me on hold. So I'm like, I am stuck there on hold, but as I'm holding, now I'm able to remote view into a vision. So it gets a little awkward here. I'm inside of a cab. It's daylight outside. I'm inside of a cab, and I just knew it was a cab. Like I'm in the back seat. It's like an Uber or some shit, I guess. But right in front of me is like a teenager riding a bike, but they're in the cab somehow. And it was like shown to me in like the vision of a projector. You know how a projector shows the screen up on a screen or whatever the case may be. So that's how, and it seemed like they was just a little bit too close to still be in the cab with me, but that's how it was. I'm just telling y'all how I seen it. You know what I mean? Now, while the car was driving at first, in my head, I already know where the car is supposed to be going. The car is supposed to be going to someone that I know. They like family to me. They just got approved for this spot that's out of town that they're moving to. This is where the ride is supposed to be going. You know, like I told y'all in some of my other dreams, sometimes you just know stuff in your dreams without seeing it, without reading it. It's a telepathic thing that you know what is supposed to be happening, but it's not vivid for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? So instead of the car going out of town, like on the highway out of town, it busts a turn, and as soon as it hits the turn, I know exactly where we're at. We're in Staten Island. I grew up there. We're in Staten Island, and we're making a turn towards the place where this figure in my life still lives. Like they still making a transition, but lived before they going to move out of town. You get what I'm saying? So they at their old spot. So it's kind of like unnerving to me when I obtain this information. I'm like, damn, why the car going here? It's supposed to be going out of town to the new spot. So it makes sense now that I'm up in this realm. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bring it on home very shortly. So, you know, that happens in the dream, and then that's it. You know what I'm saying? I wake up. Now, check this shit out, y'all. Just yesterday, was it yesterday? It was either yesterday or the day before yesterday, right? I get mad emails back to back from someone telling me to go to check this real estate spot out that they want me to look at. And like, yo, you know, they told me about the area and stuff like that. Now, there's mad different areas too, because they were showing me a lot of different spots. But me, I chose one out of 8 spots to go to first, right? So random. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to this one first. Open it up, I look at the address, bang, I get the information, who I gotta call, who I gotta ask for, who not to talk to, because, you know, I got the hookup. So I got all the information down. Now, they was like, yo, it be busy sometimes, you know what I'm saying? You gotta call at least 3 to 5 times sometimes. I'm like, all right, say less. So I do that. So then I make the first call. The phone doesn't even ring. It doesn't go to an answer machine enough. Like it rings, like you could tell, it registers like, yo, you just made a call at such and such time, yada yada yada, right? But I don't hear no ringing. So I'm like, all right, no problem. I'm call again. Try again, right? I hang it up. I call again. I get no answer. So then I'm like, same thing though. It doesn't ring. No answer machine. It registers that I made the call. So I'm like, yo, what the? I say, yo, let me go online and look at this place anyway. Something dawned on me. I'm like, what if they do pick up and anything? Like I want to do a perimeter check. So I did a perimeter check. I went online, looked at the place, and soon as I go online and I look at the place, right? You know how these real estate places, they got the photo slide of what the place looks like, outside, inside, all of that, right? Floor plan and all that. So I get to clicking through it. As soon as I look at it, yo, the first photo is the apartment with the New York City skyline in the backdrop, no curtains on it, of where I was taking photographs of this woman at. You understand what I'm saying? The same exact spot, yo. I don't be forgetting shit like this, you know what I'm saying? Like, the same exact spot, B. So, I got stellium in the 12th. So my subconscious mind just be on point when it comes to the memory retrieval and shit. So I'm looking and I'm like, say fucking word. But it's daytime in the picture, you know what I'm saying? But it didn't make a difference. I could identify it right off the bat. I'm looking at the floor. I see the floors and everything. I'm like, oh shit. So then I get to swiping it. They got the look right. They got the steps that go up and around the wall and all that. I'm like, yo, you gotta be fucking kidding me. So now they got more photos or photos that I didn't see of the place, like downstairs, the lobby. Yo, this place is fucking fabulous. You understand what I'm talking about? And I saw the price range. So the price range is above my style. Like, I ain't gonna say above my style, but it's above what. I ain't gonna say it's above my taste or whatever the case may be. It's just above what I'm capable of doing right now. Like, let's just be fucking honest. You understand? It's in a great area, all that. Like, I ain't even have to, like, I know where it's at. I'm familiar with the area, So, but nonetheless, here nor there, I look and I say, oh shit. So, universe talking to me, right? Let me start pulling the pieces together. So I'm like, all right, this is the place where we was taking pictures and stuff like that. So, I just did a real quick check on my astrocartography because I've been doing astrocartography videos for other people, right? And I noticed something about my joint. I got Saturn conjunct, or crossing, should I say? Let me use the right terminology. I got Saturn crossing Neptune where I'm at in New York. And for the life of me, this answers so many questions of my journey from then up till now on why things occurred the way that they do and still continue to during this day. And not saying I haven't changed, evolved, grew, and became better, of course, but there are certain limitations. And this is nothing for everyone who feels like they have limitations and they being stifled or they feel stuck, or people are saying that you're stagnant and you're thinking that you're doing something wrong. You're thinking that they got the mojo and you don't. Yo, I'm telling you right now, don't fucking subscribe to that shit. It's just that you're in the wrong area to produce particular results. That's it, because in my situation, let me explain, right? My Saturn and Neptune line that runs through my neighborhood has me in a place where if I put focus on being recognized and having a worldly view, or being recognized on a large scale, materialistic and this, that, and the third, I can experience a lot of losses. The reality, or what people call reality, in the dream world, the fantasy world, can get blurred or they can be merged, meaning I can live both at the same time. Now, if y'all know anything about me, y'all know what I talk about. I talk about the dream world, and I talk about concrete business stuff and things of that nature that are real, that could be serious. Sometimes I put out a very serious tone, you know what I mean? But for the most part, my energy gives off a person that is, so I've been told, a person that is spiritual and a person that is enlightened and communicates that. And I don't go overboard. I don't go clout chasing it. I don't do news about celebrities and stuff like that to get views and shit like that. That's just not my style. You know what I mean? But mind you, back in the days and being in the same neighborhood, not the same exact neighborhood, but around here and stuff all over New York, I was wild as fuck. That's all I cared about materialistic shit a lot. You know what I'm saying? I cared about money a lot. But I will always be in the midst of drugs and the drug world and stuff like that. If you know, you know. Like, when people tap into drugs, they tap into spirituality. They get closer to it than people who aren't high. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got that natural tendency to be able to tap in and tune in like that. So I say all of that to say this, right? But I'm not finished. Hold on. This area makes me very powerful spiritually. Very powerful spiritually. I read all of this. I did the research first. So I'm not just tooting my own horn or some shit. Like, very powerful spiritually. And if I allow the spirit and believe and keep the belief that spirit is working behind the scenes and making everything move for me, and I go with the flow instead of trying to resist and go against the tide, then I'm going to be cool. So I cannot kid you at all. Like, I've been experiencing that, but even heightened for the last couple of years, the last 2 years, so to speak. Like, ever since the pandemic and all that hit, like, I've just, and I'm not saying like on some pedestal or on I'm big daddy this or whatever the fucking case may be. No, I'm saying as far as spirituality goes, like, I'm that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I feel it. You know what I'm saying? I practice it daily and I can really see the results of that. Now, let's get to these dreams and connect the dots here. The cab was going to the projects. I also live in the projects, for those who don't know. And I'm not ashamed of it at all. Like, I fucking love it. You know what I'm saying? I'm hood. Despite what you see and shit, like, I'm hood. You know what I mean? So, the reason why I bring that to everybody's attention, and myself included, is because I'm taking photos of this woman, right? This bitch is gorgeous, too. But I'm taking photos of this chick, and it's like, we in this plush place. I told you well, I ain't tell you where it's at. I ain't even gonna go that far, but matter of fact, fuck it. It's in Long Island. The place is in Long Island. So if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? So we're taking place in this high-rise apartment, plushed out, beautiful joint, costs wild fucking bread to be there. And of course, for me, that means that I'm being materialistic. I'm living beyond my means. I'm trying to be showy or want to be showy for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the car was going from where I thought it would be going now. The place where that person that I was talking about is moving out of town, they're going to a nice place. They're going to it's an upgrade, put it that way, right? Now, that's why the detour was being made in my astral projection. Not going to that upgrade, going to the projects. So telling me to humble yourself, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Be real with yourself. Stay grounded. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, now Shorty, who was also in a plus place, and if y'all follow the dream, she got nice places and stuff where she stay at and all that too. Now we in a small joint on twin beds. So it's like, if that ain't hood, I don't know what is, right? We on twin beds in the joint. I ain't trying to say it was I ain't trying to down talk her, you know what I'm saying? Or myself at that. Like, I'm still that nigga. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to feel that way about yourself, to know yourself, is pretty much what I'm saying, right? So now we both in the same spot, which is more hood-like, which is more grounded, which is more, people might even call it poor or poverty level, whatever the case may be, but it's just not at the level that these projections were offsetting. So if you follow and you pay attention, right? Before, she had sent the signal, like, I could have drove a car over to her house with the fashions, but in the earth realm, when I woke up, I went to look at the car, found the car, priced the car. I'd have been left with like $2,000 left if I bought the car or something like that. I called the person, they never answered the phone for me to buy the car, right? So that's another materialistic item, another expense, a large expense that would have did whatever. And now we're at this point, right? So some of y'all may be hearing this story and be like, man, you just don't got the willpower to manifest material items, X, Y, and Z, this, that, and the third. But if you believe that, you'll be missing the point. And this is why astrocartography, I mentioned it, is so important, because what I found is that, I didn't stop there by seeing that I'm in a spiritual place, a real spiritual place, where I'm able to realize the tangible in the dream world in this environment that I'm in now. But you thought I stopped there? No, I went and looked for all of the rest of the planetary lines in my chart, in my astrocartography chart. So now I know where to fly, right? Fly, airport, Chauncey, airport on the phone. Well, where the fuck they at? That was to stall me just to get the hint, like, yo, airport time. You know what I'm saying? I know where to go to get certain things done in order to manifest these particular things. You know what I'm saying? Trying and trying and trying my hardest and my best to do it here in this exact environment is going to result in a lot of losses. I've taken a lot of losses already, and I'd be a fool to ignore the obvious and what has already occurred. And just because I didn't take the trips to these different places that I found to make these things happen, it doesn't mean that I shouldn't believe that it's possible. You know what I'm saying? I'm going on that journey. Like, I'm already preparing how to take these flights in this and the third, because again, when you see when you hear or see airport in your dream, it can also mean that maybe you're not qualified or maybe you're not prepared to jump off and dart into doing something. So I looked at enough points on this astrocartography chart to figure out where I can go to get legalities strengthened and get more partnering and partnership strengthened, because for whatever reason, the partnering that I've done while being here stationed is nowhere next to how good I can do. Like, I know that. Like, I know I'm knowledgeable, I'm capable. Like, I should have way more established relationships that actually cooperate, not that blow smoke up your ass in my circle. You understand what I'm saying? And I know this is something that I feel. So I found a spot like that. I found another spot which raises my recognition, my status, my north node line. I found my north node line. So this is where what I'm gonna find what I'm really here to do, or what my purpose is here. And even though I have an inclination of what that is, it's kind of challenging when you don't see things manifest into what you believe is supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So make a long story short, y'all, I'm preparing to take these trips. I'm preparing to take these flights. And these astral projections are what hinted to me to be able to know how and why I'd be doing these things. If I just think that, because if that's the case, right, I would have been, like, let's say I want to be famous. I would have been famous already. I'm in New York City, like, come on. Like, and it's not like I'm garbage, like I'm talented in so many different things. It's not that. Sometimes when you go other places, that's where it happens for you. So I hope this encourages someone to look at their astrocartography chart, and I hope this encourages those who had astral projections and you trying to put the pieces together to make sense of it all. You know what I mean? More importantly, again, like I said, if you feel that you failed at some things in life, or things are not happening fast enough for you, look at your astrocartography chart and look for the lines where those things can operate more simpler for you. Check it out. I want to hear about this shit. You heard? All right, I ain't gonna hold y'all no more longer than that. I'm out.